Alright y'all, we're gonna do a quick persimmon update. I've had these in the ground 4 or 5 years, and most of the time this is what they ended up looking like. Right, nothing going on. But then this year I started seeing these. Now I don't know that all these fruit will hang on. See them up there too. Shaking the tree. See them? And there's still some branches that don't have any on them, but those branches that do, it's pretty neat looking fruit. That's my Fuyu persimmon, and it really hasn't got a lot of size on it. So there to there, which is, I don't know, 7 feet. So it has, I mean, it was about that tall when I bought it, so it's maybe doubled in size in 5 years, but that's not much in 5 years. And this one is a Tananashi persimmon. It was fruiting when I bought it, and it's really putting out. I put it in the ground last year. It didn't do a whole lot above ground, so I guess it was putting down roots. I got a Japanese knotweed problem back here. I'll have to get in here and mow. But in any event, I mean, you can see, I think just about every branch has them. I'm watering right now because everything's a little bit thirsty. Yeah, just about every branch. So I got it tied up because I didn't like the shape of it. Pulled that branch down a little bit, pulled that one over a little bit. And I also got it pulling a branch from my sugar pear. But this is my favorite because this was just a little old baby whip. I've never even eaten one of these persimmons before. That tree is 20 feet tall if it's an inch. And it was just a whip when I planted it. So don't think you gotta buy the biggest fruit tree out there. But I think it's in the same exact amount of time. And look at how different these blooms, these fruits are. They're bigger too. Let's see if I can find one that's closer down. It doesn't have as many. It's not loaded up like the other ones are, but it does have some fruit on it. They hide better on this tree, and there are a bunch more, but they're higher up. I can see the ones higher up, so let's pull this one back. I can get it. Let's see if I can't get it. See how much bigger that one is? It's a much larger fruit. You can see them up. I think you can see that, sort of. It's harder to see the ones up there. But they're up there. I'll have to be getting the ladder out. It's already out, it's over there. I gotta get in here and I'm gonna bush hog it, and then I'm gonna burn it. So that is the persimmon update. Check out, I got it. This is an apple, an Anna apple. size comparison. So that's an apple. I'm gonna walk y'all over here and show y'all. So this is one of my cherries. It's got nothing on it this year. They've kind of struggled back here in this corner. But then I got the plums, and they're on this tree, y'all. Y'all see them up there? I got to get in there and thin that out. I've thinned a bunch. I've already thinned this a couple of times. The plums are bigger than the apples. And I like the flavor on those apples. I really do. So that's my plum, fig tree, Chicago fig. All my figs took a hit in that cold snap we had. And I've only found one plum on this tree. There she is. This is my Santa Rosa. Getting something to drink. Got all my tomatoes planted. I love these arches for growing tomatoes. You just grow them up and then kind of weave them through. I'll show y'all how I do that. I've done it the last few years on my cherry tomatoes now, not on any determinate varieties. These are the elephant heart plums. I got to find one that's in the doggone sun. There we go. Twice as big as that apple. And I've had to thin the snot out of these. Because it's not much tree. Watch this. See that? There's a lot of weight on those. Same here. I've thinned a good bit. I'm leaving them thicker as I get to the trunk, but I'm thinning them out pretty good towards the ends. I'm putting them about a fist width apart, but like up here, I'll leave them close together like that, right on the trunk. They may not get as big, but that's all right. I've thinned them out pretty heavily here. Those, I don't want them growing super close. I don't want to break any branches. That's why I got to get back there and thin that other one better. So I'm getting my last couple of blooms on my apple tree. That apple tree is a Golden Delicious, didn't flower this year. My, not Honey Crisp, Crunchy, Pixie Crunch, that's it. Pixie Crunch didn't, we're at 1 year basically from when I planted it. It's putting on some pretty green growth. Didn't really grow a whole lot last year above ground, must have put down some roots. My wife got some wildflowers planted in here, and I need to kind of remulch this once those get up tall enough, and then I can kind of stick some mulch underneath them. But anyway, that's pretty good stuff. Well, this started out as a persimmon update, but it's kind of turned into a fruiting tour. I just heard my irrigation turn off. I kind of do a mix of organic and inorganic. I switch off about once a week. I'll do fish emulsion 511. I bought a 5-gallon bucket of that from Home Depot for a decent price, and I've been keeping that in I bought one of those 7-gallon water totes and dumped all of that into the water tote, and then the water tote I can just twist a little switch and I get as much or as little as I want out of it, whether I'm filling up a watering can or whether I'm filling up my irrigation fertilizer. So this is a Shimmer apple, and it's got has some good growth there, about 6 inches of growth there. Same thing, pretty much every branch. I'm trying to spread out my branches a little bit there. That'll be good. I need to get a brick and kind of pull those branches out a little bit. All right, I can already smell the citrus. They're blooming pretty hard. That's maybe my Kishu mandarin there. It's got bugs all around it. Something's pollinating it. So this is 1 year from me putting it in the ground, and it is blooming like a banshee. Calamond in there. It's just about doubled in size since I put it in the ground. This is a key lime, lime quiet. It had some blooms on it, but I think they all fell off. But it's looking green and healthy. I'm getting some growth back down on my rootstock. And the rootstock over there too. Maywa kumquats have not started doing anything yet, particularly. This is my easy peel clementine. So I had these in pots, didn't do much. Put them in the ground, boom, and they did fine. This is 8B, South Carolina, easy peel clementine, Kishu mandarin, no problems. This one is a, does it say? That's a citrus. I can't remember. I can't ever remember that one. I need to get a label for it. That's an orange tree that belongs to a friend I brought to sort of cross-pollinate, that sort of thing. It's got some little baby fruits on it. Pretty blooms. Here's my big maywa. Not waking up just yet. And then this is I just figured this out. I don't know how I didn't figure it out before. I knew it was a lemon. I didn't realize it was a Meyer lemon. How did I not know that? Anyway, I put it in the ground. This is the hottest spot in my yard other than the other corner. And when I put it in the ground, it was already doing this. It's already starting to leaf out. So that's him. I don't have him wired up for irrigation yet. This is my Mutsu apple. It came in one of those little bags and I didn't like the way it looked, so I cut it off halfway and then it started shooting out the bottom down here above the graft. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, this all pretty much from here down to the bottom is dead. And it was dead when I cut it. So anyway, once that gets big enough, I'll end up cutting that dead piece off. This video is going long, 13 minutes so far. Sorry, y'all, but we got more tour to go. Got my wife's, that green tree right there. That's a, what is it? I'll think of it in a minute. Anyway, loquat, pruned it this year. Aronia berries, got some rosemary mixed in there. Loquat. And I gotta get these mulched in before my wife gets mad at me. Ginkgo tree. That's a maple leaf hydrangea. It should get fairly large, but that tree is gonna get super large too, so no big deal there. Still won't be enough to shade out those loquats. Blueberries are looking nice. Got some Titan blueberries here. They looked kind of rough last year. I got them hooked up to irrigation, got them fertilized. This bed kind of looks rough right now. My chickens keep coming and getting into it. But I actually took like 2 bales of peat moss and spread it out through here. Came back over it with mulch and back over with mulch again. Can y'all see them? So I think it's safe to say dumping peat moss at the base of your blueberries can be helpful in the health of your blueberry plants. All of them look greener this year than they did in years past. So that soil may have been going basic. I know that dirt had been acidic, but anyway, Texas everbearing. I thought I got all my trees. I've been cutting off the dead looking leaves because I didn't like the way they look. And also I think it takes from the the good leaves that are still left, to have these leaves that are, you know, basically not doing anything. That is a basically it'll bloom and have lots of flowers. It's a pollinator attractor. I don't remember the name of it. I ordered it on Etsy, and when it got here, I was like, "Who ordered this?" So the Titans, you can see they're already bulking up. I mean, size-wise, they're about 3 or 4 times some of them, but they look a lot greener this year. I'm much happier with the way they look. This was a shoot of that one that I pulled up, and it's been about 3 years, but it's got some fruit on it now. This tree, this one, and that one aren't looking quite as good. That one's got some ants issues. This one I dug up in the woods down in the lower state of South Carolina, so this might be, it's got fruit on it. This might be not a blueberry, but maybe a huckleberry. So, kind of, I really don't know how to tell the difference yet, but I'll learn. So those are looking good. Got a mulch in my path. Then I got another Chicago Hardy. I mean, it took a hit just like the rest of them. My pawpaws in there. I need to make a path through here too. Need to mulch a path. There's one pawpaw. There's another pawpaw and another pawpaw. These two I got just last year. That one I dug up in the upstate. It was the twin to the one that I took to Lead Farmer. Mine made it, his didn't. I'm gonna have to get him another one. Because boy, oh boy, y'all, I'm gonna make a video of that. I found them and they are insane up there. I got like at least 4 patches that I found. This is a Black Mission. I got fruit off of it from the first time I had it, and they were so good, and I can't get the doggone thing to fruit again. This year, y'all, this year should be the year. It's putting on a new green growth. See that? That's about 4 or 5 inches, and it's putting on a bunch. I pruned it again just to try to get it to branch a little bit more. It's been in the ground for 2 years to date here. I moved it 2 years ago. I'm really hoping for some fruit. No bribacop on that one. All my bribacops, all the briba figs across all of my fig trees fell off, except for, I got one over there, which is a unknown variety. I bought it as a panache. It is definitely not a panache fig. When I told the seller about it, the seller was like, basically, "Come at me, bro." And I just said, you know what? They taste good, so who cares? I'll get a panache from a reputable place next time. This one really took some cold damage, but that's east, I guess. West. That's west. That's where the cold came from, and it caught the full brunt of it. I got a fig tree on the opposite side of the yard that didn't get any cold damage. That's the east, on the west side of the yard, so the westerly winds were blocked. You can see I've been cutting the dead off of all my fig trees. What's this? Oh, I thought we were getting some fig action. It's starting. They're starting. See that? All right, see how it's kind of 2 little bumps there? It's hard to see. If you see 2 bumps, one bump's a leaf, and one bump, there it is. That's the 2 and the 1. So there's 2 bumps there. One's bigger than the one kind of off to the left. Well, I don't know. That might just be one. That tree's been in the ground for a year. That tree's been in the ground for a year. GE Neary. Y'all, if you don't have a GE Neary, whoo, they get so big. And I've pruned the snot out of this tree. It grew the most out of any of them. I pruned about 4 feet off of that tree. It was about up to here. And I pruned it off because it was getting too heavy, too lanky. So that it would, I pruned it so that it would branch out like you see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 branches. I mean, it's branching all up and down the trunk. That's what I want. I want that on this tree. I don't want it to get super tall because I got wires up above me. I don't want to get super tall. But those figs were, they say they'll get tennis ball size. It's only been in the ground a year. They were, a tennis ball size would probably be up in the 120 gram range. They were 60 to 80. And if they get up to 120, whew, man, that's gonna be something to see. This one is a, it's the kind that the main crop needs the wasp. And yeah, I don't have the wasp here. So anyway, the Breva crop was what I was looking for on this tree. And I'm pretty sure all the Breva got smacked by that cold weather. Cause see, there was one. That was one, but it is dead. So this is the tree. I don't know what it is. As far, I mean, it's a fig, obviously, but it is definitely not. It is definitely not panache. And you can see there's one of the Brevas. Now, if you've got figs but you don't know what Breva versus main crop, so Breva is the fruit that forms on last year's growth, and it forms first during the year. Main crop forms on new growth, so this green stuff that's just grown this year, and it forms right there in the crooks of the leaves, and that's what I was saying about double versus single. Because if you see a double bump, you're probably gonna get fruit there. I'm not seeing any on this tree. This is a cutting from that other black mission. This is a black mission here, and I've done this on a bunch of my stuff. I did cuttings and just stuck them in the ground. This works. This does work. You don't have to do all that fancy stuff. This is the way I did my Celeste. That's a cutting off of that mother tree. That's that big one right over there. That one, that's actually the one I did a video way back where it was an experiment. As that big section of tree broke off, put it into a pot. And see, this will happen. You'll get, see this, that's a sucker. That's a sucker, and it wants to form a new tree. But I don't want that on this tree. On this tree, I want it just this main stalk here. I don't want those suckers. So I pull those suckers out. Every single one of them pops up. Because I want this to be a pretty looking tree. I want it to be an actual tree. I don't want it to be a shrub. And you'll see some of them look shrubby. Those ones back there look shrubby. Those I'm doing it intentionally. That one I just want to see if it'll fruit. If it won't fruit, I'm gonna graft onto it and the old tree will be gone. This one, I still have that central leader right there. If I want to, I can cut all those off, or I can do air layers, which is what I'm gonna do. This one I'm gonna do an air layer on. See, that's the main stalk. This is the one that got eaten by deer last year. See the difference in those leaves, how they got little serrated edges? I'm gonna do an air layer on that. Yeah, I told you they work. Just stick them in the ground. They won't all work. All right, so these are in the shade, right? So this catches late afternoon sun, and you got to do this early because if they get toasty, they won't make. These I think are dead, but you see the skin on these? It's not bumpy. So I think these might actually still be alive. So this is a I've heard it pronounced white Marcellus. Who cares? Different leaf, with long fingers on it. I did the same thing with this one. It hurts your feelings to do this, y'all. But if you chop it off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 branches, and every single one of those branches that comes off, see, this one I didn't cut. I didn't prune this one, and it just shot right out the end. Okay, which is fine. But instead of having one branch come out the top and it getting taller, now I've got, and I had 1, 2, I think just 1, 2, and then 3. So it was just 2 branches. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 branches on this tree. And that main crop, like I said, grows in these little crooks on new wood, not on old wood. So, and this won't even start showing figs until, and if it does at all this year, because it's still a new tree. We've been one time around the sun since I put this in the ground. So, and not even maybe that. I love these tiny little fig leaves. Long video. Yeah, so we've only been around the sun one time since I put this in the ground. It was a year old when I got it, like it was this tall. Like it was just a little stick, like about that big. Like it was about the size of that, or maybe, and this would be too big. This limb, that's too big. But that's basically what I got. About this tall in a little tiny cup, about the size of a shot glass. I up-potted it and up-potted it. Last year had been 1 year, and it was not this tall, maybe that tall. Put it here. I tilled all this up. Maybe I put some black cow down. I know I put some rabbit manure down. Planted it, mulched it, and you see this is where we are a year later. So I love rabbit manure too, because you can't burn anything. I plant it straight in the hole with everything. Now this one was basically the same size as the rest of these, but it gets a lot more sun. You see it's already in the sun. Some of those aren't in the sun yet because I got these big oak trees, and that's a gum over there. Did the same thing here. Now I've lost some Breva here, but I've kept some. You know, so I don't know if this one looks like it's done. I'm not gonna snap it off, but most of the time when they turn yellow from being green, most of the time that means that they're not gonna make, and that's fine. Again, young tree, 2 years old, and yeah. So 2020 would have been 1 year. 2021 is 2 years. That's it. This is 2 years. 2 years of growth. Same thing. Till it, rabbit manure, plant it, and mulch over. And I plant a little high. I do. I plant them about this high and then mulch to the top because I don't want root rot. And this is a wet section of my yard. You can't see it, but it's downhill this way. Everything drains that way. Again, pruned it, 1 branch into 3. Pruned it, 1 branch into 3. Might be 4. But you can see the 3. 1 branch into 2. So I've gone from 3 branches, and these do count too, because this was not a branch, and this was not a branch. So I'm gonna count. So it was 1, 2, 3, and I'll give this one because this one was last year too. So there's 4. I went from 4 branches to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I went from 4 to 12. I tripled my branches with 3 cuts. I grew this from cutting too. This is a, it's not weed. But it can grow like one. I'll think of it. It smells good too. But that one blooms like crazy. This one and that one over there I showed you on the ground, that's a flowerer. They are cousins, I think. But anyway, that one flowers 1 time a year. It's kind of purple. Vitex, that's it. And this one is supposed to flower all summer long. It's got a ways to go. But it came in, and I put it in the ground and it's already leafing out. So it will be good to go. It's gonna get big too. You know, probably fill up this whole space under these camellias. So y'all, that's it. Long story. That blueberry is loaded. All right. See y'all later.